I want to talk to you today in this video about what are some of the things that a seller should disclose when they put their house on the market to sell. That is why it's so important for you to really use a realtor, so you have somebody to kind of be like a go-between for you. You have somebody on your side that represents you, that can help you through the process, because there are things sometimes that are involved in the purchase of real estate that as a new buyer you might not be aware of, okay, if you're trying to do this thing by yourself. Again, I'm a licensed real estate agent in Tampa, Florida. So if you're looking to move into the Tampa Bay area, or if you're actually in Tampa and you're wanting to buy in the area, feel free to reach out. If you're wanting to sell, I can help you out as well. Sorry, this is live, this is loud, it is what it is, right? So what are some of the things? Right now I am here and I'm going to give you just like a quick tour of the house that we are about to put back on the market, and then I will walk around and tell you some of the things that a seller should disclose when they're putting their house on the market. This house, like I said, we just replaced the roof. This house has been on the market for a few days and we were getting the same response all the time with the roof. The roof was old, and especially if you're in Florida, if your roof is older than 2002, it becomes an issue with insurance sometimes. And this one was a little bit older, so we needed to replace the roof. One of the things that a seller should always disclose is the age of the roof, the property repair history, damage, hazards and faulty systems, HOA governance, lien on the property, items that stay with the house or don't. When you're buying a house, and let's say you want stainless steel appliances, you want a granite countertop, this is not granite, but your granite countertop, you want huge space and all that. Remember that appliances are personal items, okay? Personal item. Appliances are not real property when it comes to real estate. The seller doesn't have to leave their appliances if they don't want to, okay? So remember, you can always buy your own appliances. This one has the stainless steel already, and this particular seller is leaving it. But remember that appliances are considered to be personal items. Property lien disputes and nearby nuances. So a seller's disclosure is a legal document that requires sellers to provide previously undisclosed details about the property's condition that a prospective buyer may find unfavorable. So this document is also known as a property disclosure. And it is important for both those that are buying a house and for those that are selling the house. Because for those that are selling the house, it's protection. It's saying, hey, I disclosed that. You should know about it if you don't read the disclosure. The seller's disclosure provides a clearer picture of the home and its history. Plus, it allows buyers to make a more educated decision on whether to purchase the home. For sellers, the seller's disclosure statement can protect them from being sued by the buyers after the sale is completed. So a property disclosure or seller's disclosure has its benefits for both the buyer and the seller. Read the property disclosures. I know usually when you write a contract, your agent just sends you this pile of papers and you sign here, sign here, sign here, sign there. But please guys, take the time to read some of the things or all of the things that you're signing. Take the time to read it, because it will save you a lot of heartache in the long run. Anything that may cause major foundation issues to a property or endanger a prospective buyer or the integrity of the house. So these issues are water damage, cracks in the foundation, termites or termite damage, infestations, asbestos, radon gas, lead paint, and damaged or malfunctioning system, including plumbing and electrical. You will need to disclose if your property falls under the governance of a homeowners association or condominium association. That's because there are often fees to pay and specific rules to follow. That could be a turnoff for the buyer. So either way, they will need to know what they're getting into. So that's why you have to let them know if the house is governed by an HOA. You have to tell them if there are liens on the property. A lien on a property is ownership rights given to a lender should the property owner not repay their debts to the lender. So if there is a lien on the property, the seller must get the lien holder's permission to sell the property. If it's granted, the seller must disclose any existing liens on the property. With a lien on the property, the new homeowner could essentially lose their home to the lien holder if a debt isn't paid back. Buying a home with an existing lien is very high risk and typically not advised. Make sure you check with your attorney. I'm not giving you advice, just telling you what should be disclosed. If there are liens on the property, the seller should disclose that. The seller also, and that's usually in the MLS as well, they usually disclose what will and will not stay in the house. Remember the difference between personal property and real property, right? When a seller is selling their home, they're just selling the house, right? Not everything in the house. So when you come in, you say, I want this light fixture, I want this window treatment, I want this. You don't have to get all of that. It's good to ask for it if you want it, but most of those things are considered personal property. If the house is built before 1978, there is a lead-based paint disclosure that should be attached to the MLS. If it's not attached to the MLS and the house is built before 1978, you can always call the listing agent to get that from them. When you do put your offer, especially if you have an agent working for you on your side, or like a buyer's agent, just make sure that when you put in your offer, you include, or your agent includes, the lead-based paint disclosure. Remember, guys, even if the seller is required to disclose all those things, sometimes people don't. And it is very important for you, the home buyer, to do your due diligence. Do not skip any steps in the process of home buying. When you're buying a house, when you're under contract, don't skip the inspection. If you feel like you're not feeling easy about something, do an inspection. There's a variety of inspections that you can do. You can do your own lead-based paint inspection. If the house have termites, pests, the seller is supposed to disclose it. But do a termite inspection, just in case they didn't disclose that. Do a termite inspection so that you are making sure that you're taking care of your investment, that you're making sure that you are making decisions based on what you know. The sellers are required to disclose any legal issues. So if there's something going on with the house that could really become a problem with title, or if there's like any zoning violations, or if there's any encroachment on the property, they have to disclose that before you buy the property or before you close on your loan. They also have to disclose if they've done any renovations or repairs. So information about recent renovations, repairs, or improvements made to the property should be disclosed. You know, sometimes people will turn a garage into a bedroom, right? They have to disclose that, because sometimes some people are really good. They'll do it where you don't even realize that used to be a garage, right? And they just add it onto the square footage. They have to disclose that, because that can become an issue when you get close to closing. They do inspections, or they do surveys and stuff like that, and only to find out, hey, in public records, this house is only whatever square footage, it's only 2 bedrooms instead of 3. So where did that extra bedroom come? So you want to make sure that you're doing that. You want to make sure, the reason why as well is to make sure that they're permitted, that they're done legally, and that they're done right, and they're done up to code. The other things that sellers should disclose, they should disclose if there's any like insurance claims on the property. So sellers might need to disclose any insurance claims they have made related to the property, particularly if they were for significant damage like fire or water damage. So if they have had a fire, if they've had a flood in the house, people will be in flood zones and not disclose that, and you're not paying attention as a buyer, and you don't know, or not only disclose that, because somebody can actually be in a flood zone and have never had a flood, right? Somebody can be in a flood zone and has had a flood and not say that. So they have to disclose if that property has flooded in the past. And mostly you can find, again, this information on the seller's property disclosure that is usually attached to the MLS. That is why it's important for you to hire a real estate agent to help you in the process of buying a house. Hire a real estate agent. Make sure you do your due diligence. The sellers must disclose if the house has had sinkholes, right? If it is a sinkhole property, they have to disclose that. The age of the roof, the age of the main, the big pieces like the HVAC, the AC and all of that, they have to disclose that. And they have to disclose the proper property information. You know, they want to make sure that the address is right. They want to make sure that the description, the legal description is right. Now, these are just a few things that sellers have to disclose. And the reason I'm saying that is because sometimes people ask questions like, you know, don't ask us what nationality the seller is. Don't ask us what nationality the buyer is. Don't ask us if they're black or white, pink or purple. We can't answer that. There are some things that you can only find out. Go through public records, do your own research, drive the neighborhood at night and figure all of these things out for yourself. But I'm talking about the physical property itself. Also, when you are buying a property, you're asking a lot of questions when you're buying your house, so to make sure you're not missing anything. And that's why it's important to, when you viewing a house, is very important to be taking pictures or writing notes, okay? And be careful. I say be taking pictures, but be careful what kind of pictures you take. When I say pictures, I was thinking things to remind you what's in the house, so that you can ask for those things, like take a picture of the washer and dryer if there's one that you want, because sometimes you go home and say, oh, we'll put the offer in. And then I do that even as a realtor. I'm like, hey, did you remember if there was a washer and dryer in there? You know what I'm saying? So just make the note. It's the things that makes or breaks the deal. These are the things that the seller must disclose. They have to disclose anything that will affect the house materially, anything. And that is whether the roof, sinkhole, plumbing, foundations. They have to disclose those things. Really, bear in mind, some sellers really don't know, okay? If you have just inherited a house, they know you're going to know what's going on with the house, right? So that's why it's so important to do your own research, do your own due diligence. They have to disclose if the house has mold, but still do your own due diligence. When you're doing an inspection, include the termite inspection. I know with the VA it's mandatory to do a termite inspection, but do it, include that when you're doing your inspection. Termite, mold inspections, because mold can be really dangerous. All of these things can be dangerous, but mold can really make you sick and all of that. So make sure you're doing the termite, the mold. If you believe the house have a sinkhole or had a sinkhole, you can do your own inspection, and then you have to get an engineer involved, and it costs a lot of money to do that. But remember, buying a house comes with a lot of decision making. You can't make decisions if you don't have the information. All right. So always ask your real estate agent for a copy of the property disclosure before you write an offer. If there's not one in the MLS, you say ask the listing agent for a property disclosure so that you can see for yourself what is happening or what is going on with the house. If they have an HOA, ask them for the HOA, what they call that, CCR. When we're out showing you homes, ask us questions that are related to the property, its features, its location, and other aspects that are directly related to the real estate transaction. Make sure you check with your attorney. I'm not giving you advice here. I'm just telling you what should be disclosed. Again, guys, this is Josette. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you want to continue seeing videos like that, please subscribe to this channel so that you can be the first to know every time I load up a new video. I will see you guys on the next one. If there's a topic you want me to cover, put that in the comments. I'll be happy to work on whatever topic you want me to cover. Bye.